What if I told you that I went from 30,000 to 70,000 subscribers on YouTube, and I ran a school community Discipline OS from 0 to 150 members in 3 months? And the thing that has allowed me to do that is this right here. This journal, this planner, this to-do list, whatever you like to call it. This is the reason why I was able to stay consistent. I mean, yes, it is just a piece of paper, but when used the right way, it will change your life. I remember last year, I had all these goals, all these dreams, and I was working hard and consistently towards these goals, but I didn't have a system. I had no structure, and because of that, I wasn't able to make consistent daily action towards my goals, and I wasn't able to see progress. But the moment I made the shift, the moment I started on this path and creating systems in my life, using this right here, which I'm going to show you exactly how to do, my life literally changed for the better. So this simple notebook is the one system that I'm taking with me into 2026. And here's exactly why. Step number 1, decide what actually matters this season. Write down your dreams. And then after you write down your dreams, you need to be honest, because dreams are just fantasies. They're just blurry visions, things that are just out of reach until you tie them to daily actionable steps that you could take every single day starting from today. So filter everything down. Filter all those dreams, those aspirations that you've written down in your journal, and filter them into everything that actually moves your life forward right now. So step number 1 involves just picking up a new journal and opening up to a new page, taking out a pen just like this, and sitting with yourself to journal what I'm about to tell you. On one whole page, write down all your dreams, all your goals, everything you want to achieve in 6 months, in 1 year, in 2 years, in 5 years. However long your timeline, write down everything you want to achieve, every part of every life you want to live. Now, once you have that down, you've set the intention. And after setting the intention, you want to solidify your motion. And the way you do that is by taking another page and writing down the actionable steps you can take, the things you have to do to get to that dream life, to get to those goals, to get to that next business milestone, the next personal milestone. So now what you are going to have is, on the one hand, dreams, and then you've tied dreams to realistic, actionable steps you can take starting from today. And that's what turns these blurry visions, these dreams, into a tangible, implementable reality. Now, the reason why we're doing this is because in order to get somewhere, you need both a vehicle and the destination. You see, if you just had a car, but you had no GPS, no navigation, you wouldn't be able to get anywhere. You'd get lost and you wouldn't make it to where you want to go. Now, if you had a GPS navigation system, but you had no car, then you don't have a vehicle to take you to where you want to go. So to get to where you want to go, you need 2 things. You need, number 1, a destination, and number 2, a vehicle that is going to take you there. And in this sense, those dreams, those goals that you've written down, that is your destination. It sets the intention, sets the destination of where you want to go. And on the other hand, the vehicle that is going to take you there are your systems, exactly like this one. Now, this is actually one of the first things we do inside Discipline OS. We create a mind map so you know exactly where you want to go. And then you pair that with actionable steps that are going to take you there. And you see, most people don't actually use systems, and that is why they spend another year, another 2 years wandering around before they're able to make real change. Now, step 2, creating systems in your life. So in this step, you take the goals that you've written down, and now you cut them down into one measurable target, one clear outcome with a deadline, and you need to make this time bound. Otherwise, it doesn't work. Anything that doesn't have deadlines or specific outcomes or targets is way too vague, which is not going to promote action. I say this in almost every video. Procrastination is the absence of clarity. When there's no clarity, it's going to be 10 times easier, 20 times easier to procrastinate. So to eliminate procrastination, you need to invite clarity into your life, and that's where systems come in. If you follow through the system the right way, then you will have enough clarity to be able to take the action on a consistent basis in order to reach your goal. You see, goal setting is an actual proven science, and it isn't just some mystical thing. You see, when you write down your goals, you are sending signals to your brain. With every goal that you write, you're imagining something in your mind. You are almost visualizing yourself and taking yourself and placing yourself there in that moment with that dream, with that vision. You are imagining yourself having already achieved the goal. And that sends signals to your brain that plants the seed for success. It plants the initial seed that is going to kickstart your journey to be able to take the action to get to the goal. You see, progress also isn't linear. Progress is exponential. Every step isn't 1 + 1 + 1. It is 1 + 1 + 1, and then it becomes 3, and then 7, and then 10, and then 100. So where everybody goes wrong is they chase vague motivation. They chase vague outcomes, they chase vague dreams and vague visions, which gets them nowhere. In 2 years, they're in the same spot that they're in right now. And in order to avoid that, you have to lock this in. These journaling methods, these journaling techniques are going to invite enough clarity to change your life. You see, journaling forces clarity instead of vague motivation. So the things we're going to be focusing on in our journal with our written system is this. Number 1, clarity and specificity. Number 2, measurability and feedback. Number 3, difficulty and optimal challenge. Number 4, time constraints. Number 5, action linkage. And number 6, review and adaptation. And now step number 3 to creating systems in your life so that you can unlock success. And it goes like this. You need to define physical actions. You see, goals mean nothing without actual steps. Steps that you can imagine in your mind, steps that you can visualize yourself taking. So these very big goals that you have, these very long-term visions, you want to break them down into yearly, monthly, weekly, and then daily steps. You see, every timeline has a purpose, but the more you can take that long-term vision, those things you want to achieve in the next 3 years, the more you can break it down into years, months, weeks, then days, the better off you're going to be. Because if you think about it, all you have to do is win the morning. You just have to win the morning. That's it. Because if you win the morning, then you win the day. If you win the day, you win the week. If you win the week, you win the month, and then the year, and then you win a lifetime. So the big win, the big accomplishments, the big achievements, everything you want to achieve, it's not just something that is out there. It's not just something that is super out of reach, but it's also just winning the thing in front of you right now, taking the first few steps that are ahead of you. And to do that, you need to identify them. Now, each timeline has a purpose. Everybody has their own timeline. Some people achieve success in 3 years, some people achieve success in 6 months. It really depends. But these actually don't overlap or compete. Everyone has a unique timeline which should be respected. And the thing is, if you might think that things aren't going my way right now, that things aren't working out for me, that thought is an illusion, because things are always working out for you. You're just unaware of your path. So create this narrow vision. Step 1 was identifying the major goal, everything you want to achieve, all the dreams. Then step 2 was tying it to daily actions that you can repeat every single day for months, for years, in order to see that result. But after you've done that, step 3 is about forgetting the long-term vision. It is about actually forgetting the end goal, because just focusing on the outcome is going to spoil your execution. It is going to spoil the quality of your work. So now you have actionable steps. Now you have things that you have to do in order to reach your goal. And with that, you don't even have to worry about the outcome and the long-term vision. You can actually forget it. It's actually better to forget it. So now it's about focusing on what's in front of you. So the wrong way to go about this is to be thinking, what if my goal is to build a physique? Okay, so what are the steps I have to take to build a good physique? Most people are going to think something like eat better, train more, exercise more, sleep more. But that's actually wrong. And I'll tell you why. Because it's so vague. Instead, the correct version would look something like this. If I want to achieve my dream physique, then the steps follow like this. Train 5 times per week, 1 hour per training session. Consume 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Be in bed by 11 p.m. Wake up at 8 a.m. so you get those 9 hours of sleep. Consume X amount of calories every single day. And the list continues like that. You see the difference between just being vague and being like, I want to just train more and I want to just work out more and eat better. What does that even mean? You need to really ask yourself. If it doesn't mean anything to your mind, you're not going to be able to follow through and take those actions. But when you break things down into tangibles, quantifiables, things that are quantifiable, that is when you can actually do them. You can actually start stacking up numbers. The second example would be a business example. Let's say you want to hit $10,000 a month with your business. A lot of people would be like, that is a nice goal. And the way I'm going to achieve that is by just working harder. But what does that mean? You need to break it down into quantifiable steps. Let's say your main client acquisition method is outbound, which means reaching out to people, DMing people, sending emails, sending cold outreach. If that's the case, you want to break down your conversion rates. You want to be like, okay, if I want to hit $10,000 a month, then what I'm going to have to do is send 1,000 messages every single day, because 1,000 messages books me 5 calls on average. And from those 5 calls, I'm able to land 1 to 2 clients. And that's all I need, because my price and my offer is like this. You see how it becomes way more clear once you really dive into the numbers? You need to break things down into numbers, because then that big goal ahead of you, it doesn't really seem like you're scared of it. It doesn't seem intimidating, but it seems actually achievable. And when something seems achievable, chances are you're not far from achieving it. And why does this work? Because you can fail the outcome, but not the process. So step 4, execute daily with 0 optimization. You see, don't start perfect. Start now, move fast, be a fast action taker. Be the person who has an idea and has a thought and takes not that much time before he takes that action. You see, most people, what they do is they have an idea, they have a thought, and then they wait weeks, they wait months and years before they actually take any action. And later the coffee gets cold, later things change, your passion changes, you become a different person later. The smart people, the people at the top, the people who use systems in their life, these are the people who are fast action takers. They don't wait for confirmation or validation. They just jump at action. They take opportunities, and they know that speed is the key. The key is speed. The faster you can move, the closer you can get to your goal. And this is the same as journaling. You need to be journaling daily if you want to see the clarity that is going to make you that fast action taker. If you want to create the systems that are going to help you achieve your goals, not in 30 years, but in 2 years, 3 years. And it's the same thing with journaling. You don't start having figured everything out. You start and you just write something down, anything. And then that later starts to flow, and you start to be like, okay, now I know I can see the direction that I'm going in. You see, the path illuminates as you walk it. You need to eliminate perfection. That's a huge part of creating systems. Eliminate the need to make things perfect before starting. Instead, start now and then make it perfect later. The same way, when you're starting up a business, you need a MVP, a minimum viable product. The first iteration of your product to be able to test based on feedback, make calculated decisions moving forward. If you don't have an MVP, you just don't know where to move. You don't know what to do. And that is the same. You need an MVP for your system, for journaling, for anything. You need a minimum viable product. And the way you do that is by simply starting, by getting something out there, any draft, any iteration, and have it out there, have it published, ready for the world to see. Because once you do that, then it's far easier to just go back and make changes and improve and optimize, because you can't optimize what isn't already there. You see, perfection is the excuse that most people use to never start. And that is why most people don't have goals, they only have dreams. And that is why in our school community, Discipline OS, we run weekly challenges to help you with focus, to help you with discipline and accountability. So step number 5. This is all about reviewing, optimizing, and growing. Taking everything we've learned so far, every part of the system that you've created, and now taking feedback, gathering data. Every good business needs data to scale. You need data and numbers to identify bottlenecks, to identify what part of the system is not working. So analyze what happened, analyze what worked. If you're setting yourself a planner using those goals that you set. So I'll just recap. You know, you have your dream, you have your goals, and then you forget the dream, the major vision. You just focus on the daily actionable steps. You break it down even further into actionable steps you can take every day. Then you put that in a journal, you put that in a planner, a time blocker, so that you know at each time of the day what you have to do. And this is going to be your MVP for the system you are going to use to achieve all of your goals in 2026 and 2027 and all the years ahead. So analyze what happened, analyze what worked, analyze what failed, analyze what could have been done better. If you're a salesperson and you take sales calls, a very good idea would be to go back and watch that recording again. You know, record the call, watch it back and see, what did I do wrong? What did I do good? How could I be better? How could I improve? You can apply this to anything. Take a football player. It's really smart that they watch back the recording of their games so they see their performance, they see how they performed, the competition, what they did right, what they can improve, and in any sport as well. I mean, as a YouTuber myself, what I also do is I watch my old videos back. I watch the last 10, 15 videos and I just look, you know, what could be improved? What did I say right? What thoughts, what ideas, what concepts really stood out? What concepts could be removed? And just seeing every mistake, seeing everything that could be improved. That relentless optimization is what is going to get you to the next step. Most people are just simply too lazy to optimize. They're too lazy to take all these steps and follow a proper proven system. You see, most people, they just want to go the easy way. They don't want to take the extra effort to take out a journal and write down the system. But in return, they just end up paying the price in the long term. The price, which is inconsistency, which is dreams not achieved, things that you wanted to do and you weren't able to do them. So let me ask you this, what is more important to you? Staying comfortable right now or building yourself a system that is going to serve you for years to come? Now that is something only you can answer, so I'll leave that to you. Now I have something special for those of you who are still watching. Basically, we're opening a 7-day free trial to our community once again. We don't always open these. We open these at very random times, on and off. And this is just going to be open for a couple of days. If you want success, but you know that motivation just isn't enough, then Discipline OS is for you. It is for people who want structured discipline and real systems. In 30 days, most of our members are actually already on a real streak. They already have their habits dialed in, their routines are looking better than ever, and they've regained that focus, the consistency, and most importantly, they're not doing it alone. If that sounds like something that would interest you, then join Discipline OS below. Take care, and you got this.